Hello everybody. So quick update this morning, simply to say that the CPI is good. The markets are popping. This is the second day of the market pop. Did we reach a bottom? Are the rates going to come down soon? What is going on? So let me just spend a second going through it. So the CPI was at 2.8%. That's the yearly inflation, the yearly rate. Of course, the CPI tracks a basket of goods that is decided by the government, and it's not necessarily your own inflation, right? Someone who eats eggs and only eggs is going to have a much higher CPI than 2.8% if your diet is just eggs. As the media keeps reminding you, the media keeps focusing on egg prices, at least the mainstream media, and it's annoying. But the CPI as a whole dropped to 2.8%. It was 0.1% less than expected, down from 3% in January. The spike we saw in January, that holiday spike, is now going down. I would argue a lot of the good news in the CPI here also comes from the oil, the price of oil. It's essentially the lowest it's been in a year. The price of gas is very, very cheap. Down here in Texas, gas is like $2.29 a gallon or something like that, $2.29. Retail gas, I was checking retail gas prices across the US. It's down across the board too. So gas is getting cheaper. Prices are coming down. Unfortunately, and this is something. This is the issue of bad news is good news is bad news. It seems to me like the interest rate odds of a rate cut, they are much more sensitive to the markets crashing now than they are sensitive to the rates of the CPI. In fact, the CPI, has not done anything to change the odds of rate. If anything, if my memory serves well, this is going in the wrong direction. So we are less of the odds of a rate cut in May than we used to be when the markets were crashing. So now the rate cut seems to be in June. Bad news is good news is bad news as far as the rate cut is concerned. It seems like if the markets are bouncing, we may not get a rate cut in May. This is, of course, very, very unfortunate. If you ask me, the rates need to be cut right away. But then again, I've been saying that for 2 years. So let's take that with a grain of salt. Quickly, I wanted to talk quickly about Europe. And by the way, so sorry, only one video today and probably no video tomorrow because I am leaving for France tonight. And so this is going to be a pretty busy 2 weeks for me. I have a bunch of pre-recorded videos from the channel. I'll still be posting, but I am going to Europe right now, and I guess the point is that's why it's such a short video today. The point is talking about the tit for tat. You may remember yesterday I talked about the tit for tat with Canada, and now it's all called off. Electricity rate hikes from Canada are off, and tariffs on steel and aluminum from the US are off too, because the commerce officials, the commerce secretaries had a call and they say, okay, we're going to negotiate over the next nearly 2 months. I believe the same thing is going to happen with the EU. The EU, of course, it took them 2 weeks to decide on that, but the EU is going through its own tit for tat phase. Of course, the tit was started by the US, but the whole idea of tit for tat is someone starts and then you escalate and then you escalate and then you escalate and then at some point it stops. So as predicted, of course, the EU is retaliating, and this is not a joke. As predicted, I literally said that in my prior videos, it includes orange juice and jeans, the same as 2018. Also American bourbon and a few agricultural products, and of course steel and aluminum. But there's not that much of a trade of steel and aluminum between the US and the EU. It's really not that big. And so my guess is that stay tuned for another news in a week or two with the US Commerce Secretary saying, oh, now we're announcing 40 or 50 or 100 billion of tariff, and then you'll have a phone call in the afternoon saying, oh, actually, it's all a bluff. Let's talk. Let's not go on with tariffs. I think what happened with Canada, what happened with Mexico, the same thing is going to happen with the EU. It's a childish phase, but it's at the end of the day, I don't think the tariffs are going to be very meaningful. I may be wrong, but then again, I'm basing this opinion based on what happened in 2018. I may be entirely wrong on this. I obviously didn't think the markets would crash this hard. So all I can tell you is that over a short term, I don't know. We don't know over a short term. Anyways, let's enjoy the day. Today, the markets are way up. Tesla, it looks like that buying opportunity is now gone. It's like if you go 2 days -5, +5, +7%. If we get another day like this, yeah, Tesla will get back into the expensive zone. I'll conclude really quickly with Bitcoin. Bitcoin started the day really well and started dropping. And usually, if you follow this pattern, whenever the U.S. markets open, Bitcoin dumps. It's always a thing. So I would wait the middle of the day to really have an opinion as to what's going on with Bitcoin. Bitcoin dumps whenever the market opens. Of course, Bitcoin has barely moved compared to the riskier stock of the Nasdaq, right? If you compare the performance of Bitcoin from the peak to 83,000, it is a very, very good performance compared to Tesla going from 480 to 216 or 217 in over the same period, right? So risk off. I mean, it seems to me like Bitcoin is behaving more and more like a risk off. Bitcoin's volatility is less and less correlated with the Nasdaq. The market today, let's call it the X market, the X tweets is all focused on this tweet from Michael Saylor. Big things are coming. Is Michael Saylor privy to information we don't have? The market is getting excited, and MicroStrategy was up on that tweet, but MicroStrategy is highly correlated to the price of Bitcoin. Anyways, I'll likely be posting something on Patreon later today, but no more video today. I am too busy getting ready for a flight. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. This was not investment advice, not financial advice. This is just entertainment. Hoping you were entertained. Hoping we have a nice day in the market today. Please like, please subscribe, follow me on Patreon, follow me on X. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful, wonderful day.